time to predict the scores of week 28 of this 2022-2023 Premier League season. We are recording this on Tuesday evening. There are still matches going ahead on Wednesday evening of week 27. Brentford, Southampton and Brighton against Crystal Palace. And on Wednesday evening, we're both at the Cardiff City Stadium to watch Cardiff City against West Brom. Probably be a vlog out at some point, Nathan.
It will be. It should be up by the time this is out. Well, it depends. It depends when it's out.
Maybe this will come out tonight. Who knows? But as it is still week 27. We haven't got the top scorer yet, but currently leading the way at the top of the overall leaderboard, Ferris 77 is on 259.5 points, followed in second place by Bognor Rocks on 250 points. So enough of the housekeeping. Let's just get down to business and predict the scores for the 7 fixtures that we've got in week 28 due to the FA Cup quarterfinals.
First up, we've got the Friday night match between Nottingham Forest and Newcastle. Now, Newcastle really need to start piling on the points. Yes, they did beat Wolves last time around, but to put pressure on Tottenham, who have been in pretty decent form, need to get the wins in, whereas Nottingham Forest haven't won in their last 5 matches. However, they've had a lot of away games there, and you know what Forest are like away. This is at home. I think they'll take Newcastle all the way, but fortunately I do see the Magpies getting a point out of this, getting all 3 points out of this one and nicking a goal at the end. 2-1.
2-1, I completely agree, Nathan. I think Newcastle will come away with 2-1 victory myself. Beaten Wolves 2-1, although Kieran Trippier tripped up, you could say, or slipped in the box to let Wolves in with a goal there. They really should have kept a clean sheet in on that one. Brennan Johnson will probably be unavailable for this fixture as well, and he's been firing the goals recently for Forest, so I think they will score, because I think they've only had 1 week the whole season where they haven't scored at home. So I'm going to go for, as we said, a 2-1 victory to Newcastle. We move on to the Saturday fixtures then, all at 3 o'clock apart from the evening kick-off. But we got Aston Villa coming up against Bournemouth, and Bournemouth, a fantastic victory over Liverpool last weekend where they won 1-0. Although Mohamed Salah, what was he doing with that penalty? Exactly. I think that ball is still travelling now. But Bournemouth recently win against Liverpool, losses against Manchester City and Arsenal, the top 2 teams in the league, but a very good away win recently against Wolverhampton Wanderers. So I think Bournemouth will cause Aston Villa some issues. However, Aston Villa themselves have been on a very good run, 8 points above Crystal Palace, who are currently in 12th position, Villa in 11th. Not lost in their last 3 matches. It's going to be tight, but I fancy Villa with Ollie Watkins getting on the score sheet again last weekend. I fancy them to win narrowly 1-0.
Yeah, I can only see a Villa winning this one. To be honest, Bournemouth, that win against Liverpool was a fluke, let's face it, at the end of the day. Villa, for me, staying up now. They've pretty much secured it. Anyone between 12th, which is Crystal Palace, and the bottom can go down between 12th and 18th, the relegation zone. There's only 4 points, so it is tight down there. I think this will cement it for Villa 2-0. Next up, we've got Brentford against Leicester. Now, Leicester are teetering there as well. 4 losses on the bounce. They're tied on points with Bournemouth, who are in the relegation zone, so it's very concerning for them. And they're coming up against a Brentford side performing quite well, but they did lose last time around. And they've also got to play midweek as well, so yeah, Brentford bouncing back for me 2-1 and piles on the misery for Leicester.
3-0. I think with Brentford being at home, they did lose against Everton last weekend, and boy did Everton need that victory.
100%.
Brentford firing blanks in that match. Ivan Toney not getting on the score sheet. Leicester City, with all their attacking intent in the actual as well, not finding the back of the net again. So I think Brentford will get back to winning ways, especially at home and in London. I think there'll be plenty of goals in this one, and I can see the Foxes scoring. So I'm going to go for a Brentford 3-1 victory. We then move on to the South Coast with Southampton take on Spurs. Southampton bottom of the table, however, it's just the 1 defeat in their last 4 matches. A fine 0-0 draw against Manchester United, although Casemiro getting sent off in that match probably helped the Saints, but they couldn't get on the score sheet themselves even against 10 men. Spurs, a very, very good victory against Nottingham Forest last time out. Harry Kane with a couple of very nice goals, and Son back on the score sheet. I haven't actually said that in quite a while now. I think it's going to be tight again this match. Southampton don't concede that many. Probably Harry Kane will be the difference, so I'm going to go for a 1-0 away victory.
I'm going to go exactly the same as well. Spurs, they like to nick games 1-0, don't they? Southampton on a bit of an improvement. However, I just think against this sort of Spurs team, I don't think they'll be able to get anything out of it. Not going to score, which they've struggled to do all season. So yeah, 1-0. Next up, we've got Wolves against a struggling Leeds as well. Javi Gracia had the greatest starts, has he? But Lopetegui at Wolves really turning it round. Probably in the best form out of all relegation sides, to be honest. Even better than Everton, saying that. So Wolves win 2-0.
Well, yeah, I think this is going to end up all square. I was quite impressed with Leeds, the resilience that they showed against Brighton, who have been exciting all season. Bamford's goal, absolutely fantastic from the front man there. Wolves, okay, narrowed it was 2-1 away against Newcastle last time out, although I think Newcastle should have won that a little bit more convincingly. I think at home, Wolves are very difficult to beat, but although saying that, Bournemouth beat them, didn't they?
Yep.
So with all things considered, I think this is going to end up in a 1-1 draw. We then move on to the 5:30 kick-off tea time, live on Sky, between Chelsea and Everton. Chelsea having a little bit of a resurgence now. Defensively, they're looking a lot better. Chilwell back in the side. What a volley by him, by the way, against Leicester. A good win against Leeds United prior to that, and not conceding, or defensively they're looking a little bit better now. Everton, a very good home victory over Brentford last time out, and prior to that it was a 2-2 draw against Forest. I don't think they're going to get anything off this Chelsea side, who I think are now playing 5 at the back with those wing backs. Tuchel employed the 5 at the back as well.
And got him playing as well, to be fair to him.
So yeah, for me 2-0 to Chelsea.
1-1, no more said. Anyway, moving on to the final. And finally, we've got Arsenal versus Palace, 2 o'clock on Sunday. Palace, shocking form, worst form in the league. Yes, they do pick up draws, but not
conceding many though, are they?
That is true, whereas it's high-flying Arsenal, isn't it? They've pretty much got the title for me now, 3-1.
Really? Even
3-1, yes.
They're
Arsenal
only 5
goals.
points ahead of Man City though, aren't they? So yeah, you say Palace defensively, they've been really quite sound recently. However, the attacking threat of Arsenal, when they're all firing, Trossard last time out, 3 assists in that game against Fulham, so really good going forward. I don't think they'll concede in this match either. Gabriel with a goal as well for the Gunners last time out, so I'm going to go for a 3-0 home victory to Arsenal on Sunday afternoon. So that concludes our predictions for week 28 of this 2022-2023 Premier League season. We are coming up to an international break. You've got your Welsh top on, Nathan. We are going to be watching, is it Wales against Latvia?
Yes,
I believe in the Euro qualifiers.
Yes.
Qualifiers, that's right. But we won't be going away to Croatia, but we'll be going there later in the year. But more of that in a later video. But tomorrow night, Nathan, we've already touched on it. Cardiff City against West Brom. Vlog.
There will be.
Fantastic.
So we actually pick something up before the Swansea match.
Yeah, hopefully there'll be some limbs as well in that Canton end. But make sure you leave your predictions over at the Super Brew website. I might do a community post actually updating you on who was the top scorer in week 27 going forward, before we return with our videos for the Premier League in the not too distant future. But thanks for joining us once again. Enjoy the Premier League football over the weekend, and we'll see you all in the next video.
My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just